Hi, I'm Stavros. Good morning and welcome to Dennehy Commercials here on the Dock Road in Limerick, Ireland. I'm here to take you on a full tour and test drive of this brand new MAN TGX-18-520, a 4x2. So we'll see what it's like on the road. Let's go. Pretty standard specification on this 4x2 MAN, the TGX-18-520. 520 metric horsepower. We have the matching mirrors and we have the sun visor there with a nice silver stripe, and we have two air horns on the driver's side. I'll show you them shortly and we'll see what they sound like in a while. Now let me just take the key out of my pocket. So that is the key, lock, unlock. So we're going to open it up just to give you a look at the nice LED design there on the front with the lamps, and let me just open up the grille. So we have a nice handy electronic cab tilt function on this truck, which is the button here. So you can gain access through this little door. You turn the valve and you press the button here and it tilts the cab electronically. So I like that feature. And you top up your oil and your coolant there as well. It's sitting on Pirelli's 315/80s 22.5 and the same at the rear as well. So just standard size tires. We have a 67 litre AdBlue tank, your two steps going up onto the catwalk, and nice enough layout there for the Susies right in the centre of the cab instead of to one side like some trucks may have it, and your air deflector kit, and we have two LED lamps there at the back as well. That's pretty good. And your battery box, we have the diesel filter here and the two diesel tanks. We have 460 litres and 580 litres for a total capacity of 1040 litres of diesel. Now that fifth wheel is sitting a bit on the high side for me. I'd want that lowered about 8 inches. It's far too high there. But if we look at the fifth wheel, you see all the grease on there. Now there is a little box there underneath. You see that? You fill that with grease and it will automatically grease that fifth wheel periodically. So that's a nice little feature to have. I don't even have that on the S580 that I drive. And so these are all your air inlets and outlets. So this is for air in, and you can see there why it has the red cover on it, and then all your out for your air there. So it's very handy if you want to connect up here. You can pump your tires with one of them. That's good. And your two wheel shocks there at the back. Let me just open it up again because it did relock itself. Yeah, all LED lamps there at the rear. 4 airbags on the back axle should make it nice and comfortable on the road. And yeah, we just have another quick look in there. If I zoom in there, you'll see the ECU. It's sitting right there underneath the cab. Okay, let's hop inside. Is it still open? Yes. Sometimes it just relocks itself if you open it. And I do like these handy buttons as well. So we have our hazard lights. So if the windows are open, either one or two windows are open, just at the touch of a switch, both will close. Then this is for locking and unlocking the passenger door. I really like that. And for turning on your catwalk lamp. And of course you can reconfigure these to do other things as well. It's not just these. It depends on where you specify the truck when you're ordering it, what you want those buttons to do. And your remote there for the back axle, and we have heating there for the driver's seat as well. Okay, let's hop inside. Nice enough fabric there on the seats, and this one has the upper bunk as well, so you can see what it's like when it's folded down on that photo. And yeah, when I went to the launch of this truck back in 2020 in Bilbao in Spain, MAN were telling me that they were the first truck company to have coloured remotes on the trucks. There we are, nice colour display on this. So you see there we have many functions on this. Your aircon program, we can turn on and off our night heater, we can open and close the windows at either side, or one touch will close both at the same time. We can lock the doors, we can go down through the media on our phone. It has many functions, this, adjust all the lighting as well. Yeah, so really nice display there from MAN, and you can turn it off there at the top. And we have two USBs at the back wall. We have a 24 volt socket, we have a 12 volt socket that slides in there nicely. We have storage there at the back wall and storage there at the side, and up here as well. These are nice and deep, more storage, and your reading lamp at either side. There's a handle here and one for the passenger as well. We can open up these storage lockers above the windscreen. This one slides up in the middle and it has a lamp in it. They are rubber lined inside. Storage in there, that's quite deep. And you see there the sunroof. We have a fly shade and we can block it out, and two lamps up here on the ceiling, and another reading lamp there as well. Now the passenger seat does not have armrests, but the driver does have two armrests, so that's good. And yeah, let me just lift up the bunk actually, give you a look underneath that. It's really easy to do as well. And we have little storage trays there at either side underneath the outside lockers. And let me just slide open the fridge there just to give you a look. It's an okay size fridge. It does go back a small bit there as well, and at least the door doesn't slam. You see, it does not slam, which is good. Some Scania owners will know what I'm talking about there. And this drawer here, decent enough size on that. Okay, let me move on to the dashboard. We have two cup holders there and also two here. Very well done. More storage and two drawers, just like the older trucks. They had two drawers as well. And the dashboard, we can pull out a table, so that's a nice function as well. Slide that in, nice and easy. But I do like the dashboard, the way it's kind of bright color there as well, just to give it a different look on the interior. But it's almost like a car when you're looking at it here, the dashboard. Really nice. Let's just sit in to the driver's seat. You see there as well, we have another 24 volt and 12 volt and a USB and an aux in, and two more USBs there as well. Let me just start it up with the key. I can rise and lower the seat as well with one switch here. You see there now we have the map, so I can go down through this roller here. We have a home function there. We click it in to activate the functions. So it has loads of functions. Let's just turn down the radio. They are all your radio presets and your air conditioning. And we can wire up a camera to this as well. If you would like to do that, you can. And your lane departure warning and your advanced emergency braking switch, electronic handbrake there, and your hill hold over there, and your anti-slip regulation switch and your diff lock function. We can do a regen on the diesel particulate filter over here. That is your cab tilt switch and your catwalk lamp and your horn. Oh yeah, well, what does the horn sound like? Whoa! All of your cruise control functions on the steering wheel, and here we can adjust the steering as well. Good adjustment on that. Over here we can go down through the display. So you see there we have the phone, we have radio, we have navigation, and yeah, it's all pretty well done on that. We just click that in, yeah, and go down through your map. So it's all very well done actually. I like this display. And yeah, well, let's have a look at the gear selector. So you see now we have drive, we have reverse, and up and down through your gearbox manually. This is for neutral. You click that in, and then we can do auto and manual mode on the gearbox, which I always like to have. All your controls here for the windows, and we can adjust the mirrors there as well. So decent enough mirrors on the MAN, and we have a slide down function there as well for the shade. Your tachograph there as well, and we can open and close the sunroof and your blinds. So we have that blind there as well, and you can go back up with it. Okay, let me start it up just to give you guys a sound of the engine. There we are. Let's open it up. Now it would be nicer if that top step was easier to grab with your foot. So yeah, it's a bit on the awkward side getting your foot in there. Yeah, let's just hop outside now. I just want to give you a look at the lockers on the inside. Just pull the switch there and open it up. Now I'm just gonna knock that off. You open it up and make sure you open up this the whole way, because if you don't, you're gonna knock your head off this like I did a while ago. Okay, you have these little squeegees that must have came with the truck. Decent enough size. This one has a speaker protruding into the storage space, but it's not on the passenger side, so it is bigger on the passenger side. But yeah, the lockers are pretty decent size on the MAN. Okay, I think it's time to get hooked underneath this trailer, brand new Crone trailer, and we'll take it for a drive and see what the MAN is like on the road. Out of Dennehy's there, I could really feel how comfortable it was on the back axle with its 4 airbags, so that's nice. The gearbox were improved on these, because you remember the old MANs, they were fishing for gears when you'd come into a roundabout like this, but we're gone straight into 4th gear there now. So we're in the D26 engine, 12.4 litre, 6 cylinders. We just have an empty trailer. Of course, this engine would be geared towards economy, so obviously there wasn't a whole lot of power pulling out there. But we can go down through the gearbox manually. We can manually override this gearbox. So I can just press it into M mode. We're in 12th gear already. And then we can knock it into 11th. And the gear change is very smooth there, actually. I'm just going to go handy up here, because usually you have a speed camera. We have a Renault T-High passing us there, which are also sold at Dennehy's in Limerick, if you want to pick up one of them. That is our lane departure warning. I'm going to switch that off. Very annoying. 33,000 litres is the capacity of the tanker that just passed us there. We're just cruising away on the motorway now. This truck is limited to 85 kilometers, so they might have to readjust that. But we are revving in at just under 1100 RPM, and we're doing 85 kilometers on the motorway. But yeah, it's quite a comfortable truck for a 4x2. So we have 382 kilowatts from its 520 metric horsepower. That's 512 mechanical horsepower, and a 12-speed gearbox. But as I said before, we can go up and down through the gearbox manually. So we're in 12 now, we're doing just under 1100 RPM, and I can press the manual button and knock it down a gear. Now we're into 11th gear. Now we're up to 1400 RPM. Now these old gearboxes were kind of known to fish for gears when you come up to a roundabout. Wouldn't really know what gear it's supposed to be in, but I'm going to test that now, pulling up to a roundabout. Now when I came up to the first roundabout there, it went down to 9th gear, and then it took a few seconds to go down into 4th. I would have preferred if that was a bit quicker, but yeah, I'm going to test it now when I come off here at Patrick's Well, and we'll see how we're doing on that front. Now, it's important to have that right when you're pulling up to a roundabout, because if you see a gap, you want to go, and you don't want to be, oh, I'm in the wrong gear, and the truck will bog down. And the MAN did specifically say at the launch how much they improved the steering adjustment, and yes, they've done a great job doing that, because on the previous MAN it was very bad, but this, huge improvement. So the 3 models of MAN that we have, I'm actually in the GM, so this is the medium specification. You can get a GX, which is 210 millimeters higher, which is probably the one I would go for to have the extra standing space, because I'm 6'2". When I'm standing in the middle of this truck, my head is hitting the glass of the sunroof. So that's something you'd want to keep in mind. And you can, of course, get a lower cab than this again, which is called the GN. Now I'm just going to slow up to a roundabout here now. And okay, I'm going to put it into auto mode, because I'm just going to see what gear it's going to go into now, and I'm slowing up here now. So It's gone into 10th, 9th, 9th. Are we still in 9th? It just went into 6th. So that was actually quite good now. That wasn't so bad coming up to that roundabout. So actually I'm gonna come up to this other roundabout. This is the Traxxon gearbox now in this truck. The D26. Okay, I'm back in 10th gear. I'm coming up to this roundabout. Okay, and I see a gap. And I'm down into 7th gear. So 7th gear there. So yeah, it didn't seem to be fishing too much for gears coming up to either of those two roundabouts, which is good. I like that. And we're just going to go back out onto the motorway now. And I'll say nothing now for about 30 seconds and give you guys a sound of the engine. D26. So the truck was very quick at going up through the gears there, and that will maximize our efficiency and make the truck more economical. So that's obviously what this gearbox is set up for, and I am in efficiency mode as well. So it's maximizing its torque going up through the gearbox quickly. I was at the launch of this truck back in Bilbao in Spain in 2020, and what a fantastic event that was, a huge event. MAN went all out with that event. I really did enjoy it, but sadly they never got their full money's worth because you know what happened at the end of February and everything was shut down. I think they only ended up getting 3 weeks, and they had the whole of Bilbao Exhibition Centre booked for 6 or 7 weeks, but yeah, it was a disaster for them. But yeah, that's just the way it went back in 2020. They were a bit unfortunate with that launch. All the people that were there for the first 3 weeks really did enjoy it, and I was thankfully one of them. Sometimes you reach these electronic signs. Look, over height vehicle divert. I'm not over height, guys, so I don't know why that's flashing. And I did not see a truck further ahead of me either that would have turned that on, so Limerick Tunnel need to sort that out. So we're just pulling back into Dennehy's now after our drive. From the drive in the MAN, the TGX-18-520. Quite a comfortable truck to drive. This 4x2 configuration has the 4 airbags on the back axle. Traxxon gearbox performed quite smoothly as well. It wasn't too bad going into roundabouts. I would go for the higher specification, guys, the GX. This GM doesn't have enough headspace for me. I'm 6'2", my head is brushing against the glass on this, so I'd go for the higher GX, but it all depends what sort of work you're doing with your truck. But 2,650 Newton meters of torque from its 12.4 litre engine, and it's Euro 6E compliance, the engine on this, 6 cylinders. You can move up to the D38 engines, which will give you more power. This is geared towards economy, the way this truck performs, so it's not going to give you total power. It's designed to save fuel with this engine. And yeah, Dennehy's have loads of used trucks for sale. We got a 2018 T460. We have a brand new T-High 520, the DE13. We've got a used Scania R420. We've got a TGM-18-250 refrigerated rigid. And look what's beside it. We got a Hino 700, a concrete mixer. And we have a TGM-15-250, so slightly less payload than the 18-250. And we have a used TGL-12-220 from 2017. So all of these trucks are for sale here at Dennehy Commercials in Limerick. Please do contact Martin Hawk and he'll give you all the information you need. But I do hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll be back again for another one. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Cheers!